Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the week 5 open session. So, yes, now for the qualifier, actually, the syllabus is still week 4, but those who are planning to continue after the qualifying exam, that qualifier students, so definitely should continue with this week 5 also. Okay. Otherwise, term student definitely continue with the remaining weeks. So, how many of you have you are actually qualified students right now in this meeting? You-
Yes, sir.
Okay, Raju. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, any others? All are term students. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, regarding this term students, actually, now there is one more activity will start from this week. So that is regarding to the lab. So as you know that C programming is one in-person lab is also introduced for the C programming from this term, and addition to that, there is one online lab part is also there. So that means C programming lab have actually basically two components: online lab and in-person lab. So online lab is basically a timed assignment. So that we will start from this weekend, and in-person lab you have to come to Chennai. So that is actually decided some time before. So that regarding some grading document is still not created. So that is under process. So that will share with you all very soon. All the details of the
So,
grading of the labs. Yes,
so
Govind.
today I will get the online notification about the lab
Timed
session.
timed assignment, na? That
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
so
Today
that
we
time.
got that.
Yeah, so
So is
that
it
is actually
compulsory to attend the offline lab?
so regarding that lab grade, actually, you have to attend, uh, okay, in person also. So what happening actually now the lab will become separate course from this C programming course. So C programming lab will become a separate course with a different code, and that will have the one credit separately. So to getting that grade, that credit, or to pass that lab, actually, you have to attend that in person lab also. Then only you can pass that credit. Okay. So that things will be share with you very soon. So the some the grading document change are actually required. So that is in process. So this time some course actually lab actually make separate grade. So that is under process. So okay, it will share with you. But regarding this timed lab assignment, which we have share some that announcement today. So that timed assignment is already mentioned in your grading document with this information, that timed lab assignment. So that is actually similar to your graded programming assignments. Now the week 6. Okay, so next Friday, that week 6 will be released. At that time, from this Saturday, so that timed lab assignment will also be start. So what is this timed lab assignment basically? So every week, we will release one lab assignment. That timed lab assignment will contain 4 programming question. Okay, but that assignment will only be open on the given time slot. So every week we will release that timed assignment during the 8 to 10 and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, these 3 days in the evening. Okay, so that assignment will be open during this time only. So Saturday 8 to 10 p.m., then Sunday 8 to 10 p.m., then Monday 8 to 10 p.m. 2 hours, 3 days slot. And questions will remain same. So you can attempt these 4 questions in any of the slots, or you can solve 2 problems in one first day and two remaining 2 problems on the second day, like this also. But you have to complete all the 4 questions within these 3 days slot. And this time you have quiz exam also on Sunday, so we have extended one more day. So this time you have the 4 days availability. So the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. So this slots actually shared with you. So that this timed lab assignments that will be considered as a online lab actually. Okay, and later that in-person lab will also be conducted. So that means lab marks will be assigned based on this online lab plus that in-person lab. So do not miss that time lab assignment. Complete all the time lab assignment. Total 6 time lab assignment will be now the continuation in the week. So now next week, second time, next to next week, third time assignment like this. Okay. So continue. You will get a 6 timed assignment, and each timed assignment will contain 4 questions. And this is based on, so now you have already done that week 3, week 4 content, week 5 content will also complete it. So now the first time assignment will be based on the week 4 content. Okay, so you have already covered this, you have already learned the content of week 4. So now based on that, some 4 questions will be there. Okay, so this is also important for the practice of the programming exam, because programming exam also have the same environment, 2 hours, 4 questions. So because of that, we included this timed assignment. So in the same environment, you have to complete this also to prepare yourself for the OPP exam, programming exam. Okay, so attempt this. So start attempt this timed assignment from the first day. If any questions left on the first day, then complete that questions to the next day, then third day. So you have total 3 days. Okay, so to complete this, but do not try to attempt all questions on the last day. So you will not get a chance to complete. Okay, if you missed any question. So, like this time lab assignment will be available on the portal. So there is no need to join any meeting or any live session like this. For this, this is non-proctored. This is very similar to your graded assignment. Only this is a timed assignment. That means that will be open only that duration, slot duration, which is shared with you. So 8 to 10 p.m. only. Nothing difference is there. Okay. So yeah, someone raised the hand. If you have any query regarding this, please ask.
Just wanted to clear that there will be 4 questions for the 3 days for 8 to
Huh.
10 p.m. and we can solve however we want, like one
Yes,
question
yes,
a
yes.
day or however.
Just
And all those questions will be same,
yeah, same. Yeah, so
same
question will
process.
remain same all 3 days. And if you have submitted like 2 questions on the first day, so your solution will remain submitted. You can attempt the remaining two on the second day like this. But our suggestion is just try to complete all 4 questions in the one slot, 2 hours. So just increase your speed, your coding speed, so you can also do the same things in your programming exam. So you can complete all the 4 problems in the that 2 hours duration in the exam. Okay, so just try to complete in one slot. So remaining 2 day you can that do another things also without taking any tension for this. So just try to complete all things on the first day. Okay, so that is our suggestion. Otherwise, you can do partially also.
Sir, will there be any revision session?
Yeah, revision session we have scheduled this week. To that Wednesday one session we have. Then Thursday we have second revision session, and Friday we have that mock actually discussion session. So 3 sessions we have in this week for the revision purpose.
Thank you, sir.
So just check the calendar, and also we have sent the announcement regarding this. So you check the announcement in your course page, so you can see that revision schedule, revision session schedule. Okay. So, yeah, any other query? So I hope you have seen this mock we have released now. So on the course page. So this one, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In
So
in-person lab, we have to make given that same question just like in GRP and all that.
yes, similar question, similar type of questions. Okay.
Sir,
So
in
regarding
in-person lab.
okay, in person lab that we professor will decide the different things, so that they will decide some different new topics that will be based on the on your learning what you have learned in the C programming course. Okay, so that actually professor will decide some task and some additional activity that professor will decide during the
So means it
in-person
will
lab.
be it will be same as just that in the GRPA or PPA,
No, 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 no.
which
That
is
in-person lab will be different. So, like some task will be actually professor will discuss some new type of things in the C with the help of C programming, and that professor will discuss something first. Then they will he will actually ask you some. They will assign some task to you, and you have to perform that task to getting the grade for that. Okay, but that is not actually very similar to your assignment, like programming, writing a code simple like this. So he will actually decide something new, interesting thing during the lab duration.
okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So this you can see on the course page this mock unit you have at the last. So that we have released today. So the that we have released some set of questions, so that is very similar to your exam questions pattern, so you can practice on this. So this is released as the graded assignments. So now the deadline for this is 26 October in the night. So try to submit solution before that. We will discuss the solution in detail on Friday session with the during the revision things. And before that, tomorrow and Thursday, we have one revision session for the 2 2 weeks. So first tomorrow is for 1 to 2, and Thursday is 3 and 4 week. Okay, and now Friday is total 1 to 4 week with the help of this mock questions. So this is some revision session we have in this week. And regarding the timed assignment, so how the timed assignment will come actually. So suppose you have the first slot on Saturday 8 to 10 p.m. So at the time of 8 or 8 to 8 5 p.m., just refresh this page, course page. Okay, so like this. If you have opened and you sit idle, so maybe you that assignment will not reflect to you on your course page. But after 8 p.m., just refresh your page. So one new unit actually appear. So like this mock unit, one new unit will appear here, and that unit will be look like this. Okay, so this you can see timed assignment lab assignment 1. Okay, so this type of unit with this name will appear at the time of that given slot timing. Okay, and when you will click on this, you will get 4 questions. So like GRP1 graded, GRP2 graded, like these 4 questions. Okay, and you can click on this, and that programming question will come on your screen, and then you have to complete that questions. And at the closing time, that 10 p.m., so this unit will actually disappear from your portal. Your access will be removed. So that is actually the duration slot. You have time slot. So 8 p.m. this will be available, you can access the problem. 10 p.m. that will be removed. Okay, and you no need to join any like meeting for this. This is totally non-proctored. You can give the submit this assignment according to your situation. How do you want to this? So the naming will be the same one: timed assignment lab 1 assignment, and next week that timed assignment lab assignment 2, like this. Okay, so all 6 timed assignment will come uh, at the given dates from this Saturday. So this week we have 4 days, but from next week you will get only 3 days slots. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, three slots. So if sometimes if any other exam comes, so in that week we will increase one day. Okay, suppose you are giving any programming exam on that week, we will extend one day. So like this.
So first time assignment will be based on week
Week
3
four,
on week 4.
week 4. Okay, so this
Only
week
week 4.
week 4 as concept, only same conditional or loop based type of questions. Okay, so now the timed assignment. So timed assignment 1 will be based on week 4. Timed assignment 2 will be based on week 5, like this. Okay, so those who week actually just now completed. So the timed assignment will be based on that. Okay, so week 5 is still open. Deadline is not over. So that will not come in the timed assignment. So what the previous week have completed, the timed assignment will be based on that. Any query? Anyone?
Sir,
Sir,
for those who are only doing OPP in this term, should they also attempt the
No, no.
online
So
and the
this is
in-person lab?
this lab is actually introduced only from this term course. Okay, those students are doing the enrolled in this terms, so they are only eligible for the lab. Previous terms, those who have already done that is actually not required. Just give the OPP exam, and you are not required for this in-person lab. So that is actually applicable only for this terms students.
Sir, in queues, how many question asked?
Where?
Sir,
Acha,
in
quiz.
queues,
Okay,
yes,
quiz.
sir.
Yeah, approx 16 to 20 question. So that mock paper which we have released today, so that have 20 question. But in that quiz exam, maybe you will get like 16 question or 17 question like this. Okay, not more than that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, maximum 20. Okay, any query? Any query regarding this timed assignment, lab things? So that lab, in-person lab, that grading document will come. Then you can just read the grading document and you can ask your doubt. But this file, some grading document will also be changed for the C programming because this timed assignment now comes under the that course actually. But after that splitting that lab C programming lab separated to the course, the timed assignment weightage will also be shifted into the lab from the course. So that changes is actually yet to done. So that will be finalized very soon.
Okay, sir. We can proceed.
Okay. So I hope everything is clear regarding the timed assignment and these things. Those who are qualified student and want to continue into that C programming course in the same term, okay, current term after qualifying the exam, just continue all these things. Okay, continue submission of the Week-5 assignment and that attempt timed lab assignment also. Okay, because all these things are also applicable for you. Those who are planning to enroll in the C in the same current term, but those who are not planning, they have to actually do in the term which you will actually enroll after the qualifying exam. Sir, I won't get the
Oh,
link for C lab. No, which link actually? There is no link for C lab. Satak, what is your query? Regarding this timed lab assignment, that will come in your portal, course portal. Okay, and that in campus lab, yeah, you will get a link regarding this. You will get a form link. I think that is already sent to the every students. If you enroll the C programming course in this term and you are a current term student,
Yes, sir. In that form, they ask about time slot. They give
so that
three
is the only
slot
format.
in January, February, which slot you are prefer, and they
Ha.
choose one out of three. Most of people choose which slot.
Okay. So that is the only one communication happened right now. So that is also not very strict that schedule. That may also be changed. So I think that is mentioned in the form. So just wait for the remaining communication regarding this lab. So once the things are finalized, you will get a more detail. Qualifier students, when is your exam? So this 27 is the exam. So that I hope everyone know that qualifier student 27 October is the qualifier exam, and same is the quiz one for the term students. Okay, so I hope all things are clear. Okay, now the my query is, any doubt in the Week 4 assignments? I have noticed that some query on the Google groups. So any doubt in any assignments Week 4? So like Week 4 assignments which are submitted, let me tell you some corrections. Not correction, but that question will be re-evaluated actually. So first is that are actually theory
The
question.
graded assignment question number 14.
So that question, yeah, actually I'm just telling you. So that actually doesn't have the correct answer option. This one. Okay, so here correct option is missing. So that question will be removed from your grading. Okay, so don't worry about this. And another question we have like this, question number okay 4. So I have just received the query on Google Group. So this question also okay. So here two answer is possible for this. Question number 4. For this you can put any of the one. Okay, so or you can select the smaller one. So what answer you are getting? So what two possible answer are there? Select the smaller one is the correct answer. But if someone select the second one, that we will also give the marks. Okay, in the re-evaluation. So maybe you will get a one option is the correct answer, but later we will give the marks for the another possible answer. So regarding this question number 4. Okay. And one doubt is there on the Google group regarding this question number 2. So yeah, so
Yes, sir.
for
Question number 2 and 12 and 13 also.
12, okay, so for two question, what is your doubt?
So I don't know how to.
Okay, so regarding question 2, so it is given one constraint is given here. So A, B, C, three variables are used in this code, and these values are only possible binary numbers. Okay, either 0 or 1. So in A and B, we can only assign 0 and 1 value. So this is condition is given on the start top of the question. After that, for this question, how many input combinations are possible for ABC? Okay, so how many different input combination you can assign for this in as a input? So like if you assign A equal to 0 and B equal to 0 and C equal to 0, this is the one possible combination. Okay, now A equal to 0, B equal to 1, C equal to 1. This is the second possible combination. So we will only use 0 and 1 value for each variable. Then how many different combination we can give? Like how many different input combinations are possible for this question? So this is the first question. I hope this is clear. Is it clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we have the limitation is we can either assign 0 or 1 value to A, B, C. Now, how many combination you can assign for the values of A, B, C? So if you can
Sir,
assign like
2 to
0,
the
0, 0.
power. Sorry, sir.
Do not disclose the answer. Do not disclose the answer. Okay, this is graded assignments. So I'm just giving the hint. So here you can assign like A equal to 0, B equal to 0, C equal to 0. Second combination like A equal to 0, B equal to 0, C equal to 1. Third combination like A equal to 0, B equal to 1, C equal to 0. Okay, so how many different combinations are possible for this question as an input? A, B, C. So this is the first question. And out of all these combination, so that select the correct input combination for ABC so that given code snippet print 3 in the output. Okay. So now how many combination are possible? So out of among all these combination, for which combination actually that will print 3 in the output? So some five options are given. So out of these five combination, which option will give the 3 output? Okay, so that you need to select. So this is the second third question. Yeah, another was 12th. So this one. Okay, yeah, what is your query in this? Was Nisu?
Yes, sir. So I don't know how to handle this question. Actually, I don't know that how many times the continuous statement will be executed.
Okay, so for this type of question you have to actually that do a dry run on this question. So that means step by step just go through the execution or on your paper and pen and see that how many times this continuous statement will actually execute and how many times it will not execute. So I'm giving some example like suppose we have one loop. Okay, so like for I'm running this loop for I equal to like 1 to 10. So I'm not writing the exact syntax, but this loop is running 1 to 10. Okay, and for each inside this for loop, what we are checking, we are checking like condition if I is like divided by 2. Okay, 0 like this. Okay, if this condition is true, then we will like execute a continue operation. So continue this statement. Okay, otherwise else part or what we can do, we are writing like print statement, printf, and we are printing something here. So like suppose this is the code given to you. So now what happening? So now I'm asking that how many times this continue will execute. Okay. So for I equal to 1. So this is the first iteration. Okay. So I equal to 1. Now when for I equal to 1, you will enter inside this loop and check this condition. If this condition is true or not. So I divided by 2, and what is the remainder? Okay. So now reminder I divided by 2, you will get a 1 remainder. So this condition is not true because you are getting this side 1 but other side is 0. You're not getting remainder 0. So this condition is not true. That means this part will be skipped and this will be executed. Okay. But when after that next iteration, so I become 2. So in this case, this condition become true, and true means that that control will be entered into this body, if body, and this statement will execute actually. So now for one time this statement is executed, you can just write a counter like this. So one time this is executed. Now I equal to 3. So for this is executed, I equal to 3. This will not execute. So you have only one count. So I equal to 4. Yeah, again 4 divided by 2, the remainder is 0. So again this continuous statement will execute. So that plus 1. Then I equal to 3. This sorry 5. This is not, remainder is not actually that 0. Then I equal to 6. This is yes. Again this part will execute. So in this way you can just apply a dry run on this for the each iteration and see for how many times this part actually executing. Okay, based on the conditions or what is given in the code. So just note down like this. So I equal to 7, no. I equal to 8, yes. I equal to 9, no. And I equal to 10, yes. Okay, so how many times it is executed? Total 5 times. So you can just print it 5 times. This will execute. So in this way you need to solve this. Okay, so similar the code is here. Code is given here. So it's running from I 1 to less than 25. So that means 24 iterations are there, and in every iteration there are condition given. So here first condition is given, and this is the break condition. If any time this condition is satisfied, your loop will terminate actually at that point. Okay, but if this condition is not true, then second condition is actually given. If that is true, then only continue statement will perform. If second condition is true, this condition is true, then continue statement will actually execute. So just check for each value 1, then 2, then 3, and also check the fourth condition. At any point first condition is true, stop the process. Okay, so this is the break point for the loop. After that your execution will not perform. So and at that till that point how many times this continue statement will execute, so that you need to find out. Okay. Risu, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay, another is 13 you are asking.
Yes, sir.
So this is also a same thing. So here this time while loop is running, and now j value is set to 500, and this condition is given inside the while loop. So same way you have to figure out the solution for this. Every time in the while loop, when this condition is true, we are entering into the loop and we are updating the j value after dividing by 2. Okay, so 500 is given. When we enter into this while loop, j become a 250. Okay, then we will check still 250 is greater than 0. Okay, true. Then again enter into the loop and divide by 2. That become a 225 like this. Okay, not 250 and 125. So in this way, just divide the value of j every time by half and see how many iterations are going. And what is asking? How many times while condition we checked? Okay. So just see this, how many times you are checking this condition. So first condition you are checking first time when you are entering into the loop. So that is 500 is greater than 0. Yes. Okay. So this is the first time you are checking. Then again 250 is greater than 0. Yes. So second time. Just note down this, and When this condition become false, so that is the last condition checked. So during that process, how many times you are checking this condition to enter into this loop body. So apply the dry run. So 500, then 250, then 125, then 60, like 4. Okay, so 62 something. So in that way, divide every time by 2, because this is an integer division. So every time it will give you a integer value, and just repeat this process if till once this while condition become false. Okay, and during this process, how many times you actually check this condition? That is the need to count. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, some hands are raised actually. Okay, so let me check. Yeah, Chetan. Okay, Saurya.
Sir, I have a doubt in
Hello.
GRP. Hello.
One second. Yeah, Chetan, just wait. Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Sir, I had a doubt in GRP 5. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Big four.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, 5. GRP 5.
Okay, write a program that accept a positive integer and as input and print the sum of first n terms of the series given below. So yes, this series is given, and n is represent the how many terms actually we repeat this process. So you can see here two things are running on. One is the term. Okay, so how many terms we need to repeat? Like okay, let me just copy this and one second.
Sir, can I show you how I did that, or
No,
is
don't show any answer for this. Just get it.
oh,
Okay. And yeah, I'm just giving you a hint. So this actually we have total terms and terms. Okay, so this is the one term. This is the second. This is the third. This is the fourth. So to addition this, we are just adding each terms. Okay, so that means one, two, then third. So that means we need a one loop for each term. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one, and inside the each term we have some repetition also. So we have two in values in this one term. Okay, here we have three values to add in this term, and here we have four value in this term. So that means every terms inside we have the another sequence of numbers, so that we also need to add. So how this that type of questions where two actually things are actually repeating. So one is the term, and inside the term given like a for loop for the one to n. Okay, this is for the n terms. How many terms you have? So here four terms are there. So you can see the last term actually have the sum of 1 to 4. Okay. Third term you have the sequence of 1 to 3. Second term 1 to 2, and first term only 1. So just repeat this one for loop 1 to n, and inside this for loop you need to run a. So that will start. So suppose you are taking I equal to 1 to n. Okay, so this I equal to 1. And inside this loop, what you can do, you can take another loop. So for j equal to start from I. Not I, yeah, start from 1. And this j is less than to I. Okay, and j plus plus like this. And inside this, do the perform like you can take sum to 0, and here you can just perform sum equal to sum plus that j. Okay, so what will happen actually when I will be actually a 1? So for this I equal to 1, this loop will only run 1 to 1. Okay, one time only. So that one value will be added. So like sum it will become a 0 plus in the first term only 1. Okay, now this loop will complete, and then you will come out to this. Now I become a 2. So when I become a 2, so this condition is now become a 2. I is less than equal to 2, so that j loop will run 1 and 2 for this 1 and 2. and this value will be added in this way. So some that first time this one will be added, and second time this two will be added. Okay, so total three value will be added in this next iteration, like this. Okay, one plus two. Okay, so same things we are doing in the, you can see the expression, third time and I become 3, so j will, the internal loop will run 1 2 3. Okay, and all these three value will be added, so that part will be added into your overall previous sum, so that will be actually 6. So total 1 plus 2 plus 3, and in this way you will get a answer till nth term by this loop. Okay, so this is the nested loop things is required for this. Okay, Chetan, I hope this is clear. Not Chetan, that who's asked actually.
Sure, sure.
Sorry, yeah. Is this clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Chetan.
So good evening.
Good evening.
So I have a administrative query that I had to ask, sir. My
Okay,
my
just
question
ask
was,
me if. Mhm.
so if I clear my qualifiers coming Sunday, and I want to register for all the courses starting Jan.
Hmm.
So do I need to do these assignments as well as tests weekly, or do I start again in Jan, sir?
No, if you want to enroll the course in the next term, Gen term, so at that time you have to submit your assignments. Then here you can stop the process, stop your for the remaining week.
Okay, so fourth week I complete and then I stop.
Yes. Yeah, qualifier students only that syllabus is till week 4. If you just want to qualify the exam and you want to break in this term and you want to enroll from the next terms, so no need to attempt the remaining assignment from week 5. Okay, then everything will be start as a fresh in the next term.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other question?
Sir, please explain GRPA question 7.
GRP week 4.
Question number 7, week 4.
Okay. Hmm.
Sir, can you please
Okay.
explain this question?
I am explaining. You are developing a program for a bakery that was to keep track of the number of cookies they sell each day in last 10 days. Okay. Write a C program that allow the bakery owner to input the number of cookies sold for each day. Use a loops for gather this information and then print the total number of cookies sold in last 10 days. First line is that input first line is will the number of days actually n as the integer. Next n line will have the integer which represent the number. Okay. So actually this is the input format. Like first value is representing how many next input, how many next input will come actually. Okay. So this is 7 is representing number of days, 7 days, and for each day how many that cookies are actually sold, that is this number. So first day is 50, second day is 42, like this. So you will get it next this uh, 7 value. If suppose this value is 10, you will get it next 10 entry after that. Okay,
Here
so
7 is represent number of days, right?
number of, not yeah, number of days, but after that each days how many cookies actually sold.
Okay.
Okay, now your task is just read all this. So after getting this 7 value, you will understand that you will get a new next 7 entry. Okay, so 7 is representing 7 entry you will get coming after this. Okay, so now you need to sum all these entries. So after so what you can do, you can think about a loop here. Okay, you cannot predefine the number of inputs here, because this is here total number of input is based on this n value. If this become a 5, so 5 input will come after this. If this become a 10, so 10 input will come. So you can just write a loop, and that loop will run this number of times. Okay, what is the first value, and inside the loop read this value one by one. Okay, so suppose set your loop to 7 times, and after that each iteration just read one input. Okay, so you can use the scanf, that scanf function, inside the for loop and read that input, and after reading the input, add that value into your sum. So this is the only task. So you can take sum equal to 0, after that sum equal to 0 plus 50, and then plus 42 plus 56 plus 52, like this. Just add all these values. And after that, once the loop is completed, just print your automated sum. So here, like you have to think about a loop like this. Okay, so you can run a either for loop or while loop. So suppose what n value first thing, what n value you are getting, so that you can read from the scanf. Okay, so scanf and like percentile t and that n like this. Okay, by this operation, read the first value. So now you got a n value. Just run a loop like I equal to 1 and set this like I is less than equal to n and plus plus. Inside this function, use a scanf symbol. Just take some like a variable for like daily sold. Okay, so like s int s equal to 0. Okay, so for this, just write a loop percentile d and this things, and just also set some value like int sum equal to 0, sum equal to 0, and write like this, sum equal to sum plus s. So only this part actually you have to repeat inside the loop. Read, so this loop will run entire every times you will read a one input. Okay, so like 40 you are getting, then 40 will be added in your sum. Then next iteration like 50 you are getting from the input, so that 50 is add in this. So 7 times you will repeat this, 7 input will come, and after that print sum. Okay, so
Yes,
like
sir.
this is the
Understood.
hmm. Okay. Any other query?
Sir, I have doubt in PPA 5 with co-prime number.
PPA 5 in the same 4 week. Hmm. Okay. So two integer are co-prime if the only common divisor between the two integer is 1. Okay. This is the definition of co-prime. Write a program that accepts two positive integer as input in two different lines. Print co-prime if the two integers are co-prime. Else print not co-prime. Yes. So what is the doubt in this?
Sir, I am unable to find the co-prime number by code.
Okay. So here actually you have to find out a like one second, the two integer are co-prime if the only common divisor between the two integer is 1. Okay. Yeah, one thing you can do like this. You can check if both number are prime. Okay, then only you can think about that. The common what is this common divisor actually will remain 1. Suppose if you have the input 2 and 3, so 2 and 3 common divisor is only 1. So like if both number are prime 5 and 7, then common divisor is only 1, or another divisor is not possible. So what you can do, how you can check the number is prime or not? You know this? What is the meaning of prime?
Yes, sir.
So that same things you need to check both number. If both number are prime, then you can return an answer that both number are co-prime. Okay, then only the one is division. Otherwise, if both any number, if okay, that is 5 and like 6. 5 and 6 is also possible. Okay. Okay, here you have some logic. I think that question is discussed in Friday session. Last week you joined that Saturday session.
No, sir.
Okay, so all are discussed actually.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
I
so
will.
you have to apply some logic here also, because yeah, definitely you have to figure out that if numbers are divisible by one only.
Okay,
So
sir.
you
I
can
will
just
see the recorded class.
recorded session, on Saturday session actually all PPAs are discussed generally. So see
Okay,
the
sir.
Saturday session for this. So today, basically, our agenda was that to discuss week 5. Okay. So, okay. Any other any query till week 4? Okay. Then I'm moving to the week 5 content. Now, week 5 is already started. So, let me just discuss the summary of that week. And okay, so week 5 is basically the main function and recursion. And function, what is this function? So that we will discuss step by step. So function basically is a block of the code. So what happens sometimes? Till now, what you have already seen some functions. So that function is main function which you have written. So that is the one required function for the C program. That is actually checked by the first function by the compiler to execute. Okay, so similar things we can also create a function. So like as this main function, we can also create our function for some specific purpose. So function simple definition is a block of code. So that we write a code set of statements, and we make that as a block of codes, and we gives that block as some name actually. We gives name for that block, and later we can execute that block of codes only by just calling the name of that block. Okay, so all statement will execute of that block just by calling the name of that block. So that is very useful properties of the programming, that function things. So instead to writing a the same type of things multiple times. So suppose what happened, uh, if suppose we are writing some code for some problem, and in that solution we need actually write a one specific thing multiple times. Okay, so same type of operation we are repeating multiple times in our solution. So one way to write code is actually write the code every time as a new code. Okay, suppose that some set of instruction for suppose like 10 line. Okay, so 10 line code we have for some specific task, and that 10 line of code we need to write multiple times in your solution. Okay, so that is the one thing every time we write these 10 steps. Okay, when it is required. So that is the one possible way. So in this way, we can actually increase the length of the code. And suppose if later we want to update little bit, we have to change at the every part. Okay, so that is actually one problem. So what we can do, we can write only one time this set of statement. We will give some name for this block, and every time when we need this that purpose or task, we will call this statement by the name. Okay, so this will be written only one time in your code, but that can be execute many number of times. Okay, by just calling the name of that function. So some this is the advantage of that. And some if we want to change anything in this block, we need to only change only one time in the one block, and that will be reflect in the each part of the execution. So this is the one thing. So just understand that this is a one block of code. Okay, and this is the advantage of reusability. Okay, so code can be used multiple times without writing again and again. We will write only once, and we can use many times after that. Modularity, yeah, break down complex program into smaller manageable units. So now suppose if you are writing like 1,000 line continuously, okay, 1,000 line, then that is properly not readable as well as understandable. No one can understand like a continuous 100 line. But if you write a program like a by the block part, so you define that this block actually is performing this specific task. After that next block, just make the comment and mention that this block is performing this specific task. So if you write the code like this way, so that will be very understandable and readable for you as well as the others, if you want to read the same code after some time. So that is actually modularity. So that this function actually breaks the problem into smaller units. So that is actually understandable. Readability improve by this with the help of this function. And maintainability also actually improved. So you can easily maintain the code. If later you want to change something, you can only change, you can easily identify that which block actually need to change. So that is also actually improved. So this is a good programming style uh, by using this writing a code with the help of this function. So if you are performing some specific task, make separate function for that. Okay, separate block for that. So now what are the things for the function? So one is predefined function and another is user defined function. So there are two types we categorize this. So predefined function is actually some functions are predefined by the C language. Okay, and that is actually inbuilt uh, in some library. So some library is actually provided by the C language itself, and other libraries also there, so that we can also add. So inside that library is just like a another C file, C code actually, and that code contains some pre-written code, and we can directly call some function from that code. So that is generally called as a standard library. So the library which is actually created by C, that is C standard library. Other are actually some external libraries also there. So like you use this printf function many times. You have already used this printf for printing the output and scanf for reading the input. Okay, these are very common two function which we have used till now. So these two functions are actually predefined in some standard library stdioh, standard input output. Okay, this library. So there is one code written in this library that actually contain the complete set of statement for these functions. So this is the just a name of that block. Okay, block of code is written inside this library. Okay, and this we know the purpose of this block of code. This actually, if we pass anything, any string inside this, that will be print into the console, output console. So that is the purpose. So how that will be, that it will print actually, so that is defined by in this library. So some function actually predefined, so that is standard library function that we can directly use by just calling the name printf, scanf, malloc, free. These are related to dynamic programming, not dynamic memory allocation, actually, not dynamic programming. Yeah, and the same standard library we have. So some library provided by the C called as a standard library, and in that library predefined functions are there. We can use that. Another is external library function. So these are actually created by others. Okay, not the C actually, but that are approved by the C program, that C community. So that is like a math library. Okay, math.h. Now we know that many problems there are related to the math. We time to time, so we calculate some value like sine value, cos value, square value, power value, or that power value, and log value. So that many functions are generally used, okay, inside the math things. So that one library is created, and predefined code, actually set of statement or block code of a block of code is actually created, and function name is defined. So now no need to write the complete code every time. Just include this library in your code and call the function. Like if you want to calculate the sine value for some value, so just call this function and pass the value. That will return a answer for that. If you want to calculate a log value for anything, so just call the function and get the answer. Some predefined function is created inside this, so you can directly use. Okay. Now so these are the very common things generally used in the daily life. So, but some other function we also required when we are writing a solution. Sorry. So user defined function. User defined function is if you are writing a solution at that time you need to write some specific task. Okay, you feel that that task will be repeated many times, or you want to just write a good programming style like breaking style, so you can define your own function. Okay, so that is called as a user function, and you can define the function name, you can define the set of statement inside the function block of statement, everything you can define, and later you can use that. Okay, so like if you want to add some two or some input value, so you can create a function for that add. You want to multiply some input value, you can create a multiply function for that. So similar to this previous standard function, external function, you can also create your function. Okay, so now this is called user defined function. Now comes to the user defined function, because this is the main part which we will use. Because that predefined function is already created, you need to only use them. but these things you have to define. So now comes to the syntax. First thing is user defined function syntax of for function declaration and prototype. Okay, so one, this is the one part of the function that when you are creating the function, this is the one part. What will be the name of the function, what will be the return type of the function, what are the parameter for input parameter for the function. So that things you have to declare actually. Okay, so that compiler will understand that yeah, there is a function, user defined function with this name, this return type, this parameters. So you are just declaring the structure of that, actually it's a prototype of that function. So this is only that single line statements where you are defining the name of your function. This function name you can define, and this function name have the same rule like as a variable. Okay, you cannot use the like a integer value as the first character like this. So same ruling is applicable here also. Otherwise you can give any name by following the rule. Return type is a, so this function actually is a block of code, and that block of code may also return some value from the function to the same code. Okay, so what type of value this function will return, so that you need to define here. So like integer, character, float, what type of data type. Okay, so this is the one, this is optional. If you don't want to return anything from the function, so just keep this as a void. Okay, other thing is parameters. This part is actually, so this is the identification function name, then open bracket, then close bracket. Okay, inside this bracket you can define the input parameters. Okay, any number of input parameters. So what type of input value you will get in this function. So type of that parameter and name of parameter, type of parameter, name of parameter, in this way you can define. So this is the prototype of declaration only. Regarding the definition, so again you have to write like this, return type, function name and parameter, but this time you have to define the body also. This is the main actually block of code. This is just a name, structure, but this body actually will actually a task, what task this function is performing. Okay. Okay, I suppose if you're returning something, return like result, so that similar type you have to define here. So now this is the structure. Now this, you can see this example here, everything is defined. So suppose only this code, this is actually the main function. You can see this is the main function which we are writing. Out of this, this first part is actually a function declaration or prototype. We are defining like we will create one function of name is add. Okay, that will read two parameters, a and b. Okay, and both type is integer. So that is declaration. After so when we will call this function will perform some task and will return a integer value. So this is the return type. Okay, now this is the simple declaration in the global area, and later we can define the definition for that function. Sorry. So definition, function name is given. Now you can see same function name we have defined int, return type and parameters, int a, int b. So this is actually like a variable for the function only. Now this is the body defined here. So now what we are doing inside the function, we are just adding the value of a and b and getting the answer in result and returning the result actually from this function. Okay, this result value. Now this is the function definition. This is called as a function definition. So now how we will use this? So now see the in the main function. So inside the main function, what we are doing, int result. This is simply a variable declaration. After that, we are writing result equal to add. So you can see this. This is the function call. Function same name you can see add. The name is matched with this function, and open bracket and close bracket is just a like this is a function, and 5 and 3, these are the argument for the function. So argument is just like we are passing some value, and that value will be assigned to the corresponding that variable name. Okay, so this first five value will be when this function will call. So this block of code actually will execute, and inside this block, this 5 value will be passed to A. So A become a 5, and 3 value will be passed to B. So B become 3. Okay, now A become 5, B become 3. So now internal part will execute. So result equal to 5 plus 3, 8, and that 8 is now returning from the function, and that returning value actually replace this value call. Okay, so after calling this function, return value will replace this. Okay, so now this add function will replaced by the return value 8. Now what this expression become, result equal to 8. Okay, so now result is now become 8, and later we are using printing this result value. Okay, so result now will print, so output will be become a sum equal to 8. So this is the concept of return things. So we are calling the function, and that function is returning something, and that value, return value, will be used in the same code. So that will be actually replaced here, and now our execution will stop. So how the control will move here? So that control will move. So after result equal to add 5 3. So from this point, our control will come here. Okay, like this point. Okay, now A become 5, B become 3. This part will execute step by step, and it will return a result, and that result will come here again, and now same execution will start from this point. So now this part is written one time, but in your main code or any other part, you can call this function any number of times. So like next time you can write like add 10 to comma 20. Again, this part will execute and will return the answer. So this code will execute according to the number of calls. Any number of time you can call this function. So this is the overall understanding of the function declaration, definition, and use. How we can use this. Other example you can see. So this is the other function. You can see now we have declared this square of n in num. So this is the declaration. That means we have a function name square. We are creating one function name square that will read one integer value, which we will assign this variable inside the num, and that will return a integer output. Okay, for this. Now the definition is given like this. So square, this is the definition. Now int square num, but body, what we are doing, we are returning the multiplication of num into num. Okay, the value. Now how we are using this? You can see this is the main function, and result equal to square root of a square of n. Now we are calling this function square, then matching with the function name, and this is the argument 4. Now this 4 will be passed to this num, so num become a 4, and inside this will use, so num into num, 4 into 4, 16 will return by the function. So 16 will replace this call after executing 16. So result become 16. Now this result will print 16. So square equal to 16. So in this way you can call your function anytime. So now the other things. So this is just an overview of the function use. Now different way to pass the parameters. So here in C programming, we can pass value to a function in two ways: call by value and call by reference. This is also important. The previous example was the call by value. So here we have defined some variable that is integer type. Okay, and what we are passing? We are passing value for this variable. Okay, value directly. We can also pass like if we have defined int a equal to 4, and we are passing like a square a. We can call this like, okay, so square a, still this is a value. Actually what we are passing here, we are passing a value of a, so that 4 will be passed, but here this value will assign to num, and here we will use the num variable. So in this way we are passing the value as a argument. So this is the one type. Another type, call by reference. So this is actually with the help of pointer, so that is not covered yet, so that we'll discuss in the week 6 or little bit in the week also. So that is actually with the we can also pass a address of the variable. Instead of the value, we can pass a address of the memory. That is called as the call by reference. So call by example we have already discussed. So all these are example actually call by value. So you can see increment we have created. Now this function integer x variable is there. From main function we have num equal to 5, increment num. Now what we are passing, variable actually this variable is a integer variable and that contains five values. So this five value is actually passing to x. So now this become a x equal to 5. And inside this x will, this is will increment, x will become 6 in this line, and the 6 will print here. Okay, so 6 will print. Here you can see we have not defined return statement. So if our function no need to return anything, so at the time we need to return, we need to define this data type as a void. Void means absence of the value. So that means we will not return anything from this function. So there is no return statement, you can see. And here also we are simply calling the function. We are not writing it like a equation result equal to this. So this is just a function call which will perform and this part will execute. Okay, we are not reading the value or we are not getting some value and we are storing some. So this type of situation will also come. We can also define like this. So only you are printing something in your function. In that case, just write like this call. Okay, no assign something. Assignment operator we generally use if our function is returning something and we will store that value in some variable. So this is like an example of call by reference. Or call by reference is just a help of pointer. So pointer is just like a one type of variable that store the address of another variable. Okay, so that we will discuss later once the week 6 will come. So just right now you can just remember that pointer is also a variable data type. So that variable only contain the address of memory, address of another variable, memory address of the other variable. So that is the purpose of pointer. So for example, like here you can see num. Now this is the identification of pointer. This is not an integer variable. This is an integer pointer. Okay, that means this x is a pointer that will contain the address of integer variable. So this is the identifier string x. Okay, now here you can see num equal to 5 and we are passing a address. So this is just a address and num. This and symbol is actually represent the address of variable, memory address. So num is actually point to some memory location. Okay, some suppose this is 1002. This is the suppose memory address, and this value is stored here. This memory address. So what we are passing now, we are passing this 1002 memory address here by this. So and num is equal to returning this address, and this address will assign to x. So x is become a this address 1002. So same pointing to this one. Okay. Now we are incrementing the value at this address. So what is the value of at this address is 5. So that is actually incremented. So 5 plus 1 become this is now 6. And we will print this. Now the same value, because we are performing the operation on same memory location with the help of address. So that will also be reflect here. So if we will print the value of num, so num is also pointing to the same memory location. So this will also print 6. This will also print 6. So but that things do not, we will discuss these things in the detail when the pointer will comes. But this is the one type of argument passing. Okay, so this is call by value and call by reference in the. So now the above part is just a function. Now there is another type of function which we can write. So that is actually called as recursion in C. So recursion, according to the name, recursive things which is repeatedly actually that is actually continuously repeating. Okay, same things are actually repeating continuously, but that is actually related to the function. That means we are calling the same function again and again. So that is called as a recursion. And so what is the exact definition is, if any function, so we write like a function like int a function and inside this body. Okay, so inside this body statement. But if a function inside the body, that function call itself. Okay, in one of the statement, if function is calling the same function itself. Okay, so now we have started this function and inside this body we are calling same function again. So now it become a recursion. Like, okay, so any function call itself, that is called as a recursion. So but some criteria is there. So if you are writing it this type of function, so these are the important point which we need to focus. Okay, so base case and recursive case. Okay, and another is stack memory. So what happened? uh, if we are writing a function like, I'll just tell you example here so you can see. This is a one function, okay, but so this is simple function, but this is a one type of function that is called as a recursive function. How, why this is recursive? Because inside this function we are calling the same function. Okay, you can see the same name inside the body, we are calling the same function, factorial. But this function should be written in a proper way. So after some times when we will call the same function again and again, so it will work like as a like a infinite loop type of things. Okay, so we are calling the same function again, it will start execution again, then again, so that will be written in proper way. So after some times, this repetition calling, this should stop actually, otherwise this will run continuously. Okay, and it will consume too much memory and it will actually stop the process. So factorial, so there are two case, base case and recursive case. In this should be the condition for the recursive function. Base case is the condition when your function will not call itself. Okay, the part of the function, in that part your function will not call itself and will stop the process. Okay, other part, this is called as a recursive case. In that part your function will call itself. Okay, so there should be a two part of the recursive function, base case and recursive case. Base cases will be used to stop the another repetition call, and recursive case when your function will call itself again. Okay, so sometimes this recursive part will execute. Okay, so some number of times this part will be execute continuously, but after some time this base case should be performed to stop the process, otherwise code will not stop. So this is some prerequisite things to write a recursive function. So now for this example, how this will work actually. So every time when we call a function, so this actually a one block of code, and this takes a some memory in the complete. So this function will take some memory actually. Okay, like this. Okay, so what variable we are using in this function, so that will be actually defined in some memory block, so that is called as a stack. So like we are using n, so n variable will be assigned like this and will store the value. Any other variable we are using, no. Okay, so another variable is fine, but inside this function we are calling the new function here. Okay, so this become another memory block. Okay, so same n is there, but this n will be the different from the first n. Okay, so this is totally separate memory. So like this is the memory 1 block, 1 stack, memory 2. Okay, so first time we will call, so this block will be provided, and here n variable will be created, will store some data. But when the second time we are calling, then another memory block will be created, and there is another variable will be created for the same name n. Okay, so this is totally separate n value. Then third time another memory block will be created and another variable will create. Okay, like this. So every call, new memory will be created inside the memory, that is the stack memory. Okay, we call it as a stack memory. So here you can see how this code is written for the factorial calculation. So now factorial calculation, that means we are calculating the solution like this. So 5 value we are passing, so answer should be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this should be the answer. And we can calculate this with the help of loop also. Okay, but we can also calculate this with the help of this recursive function. So how this recursive function is working? So now you can see this function definition is written, and we are calling this function from this main function, int n equal to num equal to 5, and here we are writing result equal to factorial num. Okay, so this 5 is passed here. Now this function is called. So first time this factorial function is called. So I'm just drawing how this actually will work. So factorial, this is the first time call where the n is now equal to a 5. Okay, so this first time memory is created for this, and it become a 5 here. Now just check that n is equal to 5, so this base condition is not true, correct? Because n is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1. So this condition is not true, so else part will execute. In the else part, what statement is written? So only this part will execute, return n is equal to 5 into factorial n minus 1. You can see n minus 1. Okay, so n minus 1, this means 4. Okay, now this is a new call, and this call will generate a new actually block of code. Okay, so that is now a new factorial n equal to 4. Now you can see we are passing 4 values, so now n become a 4. So this n equal to 4. Now you can see we are passing 4 values, so now n become a 4. So this n is actually totally separate memory. Okay, here n is equal to 5, this is separate code block of memory, and all variables are assigned here separately. Here also now n is still not equal to 0 or 1, that same function will perform. So return 4 into, return equal to 4 into factorial t. Okay, so now n is equal to 4, n minus 1 is equal to 3. Okay, again a new call. So factorial, so I'm writing small. Okay, so n equal to 3, and again this is the base case is not satisfied, so again return equal to 3 into fact 2. Okay, now again a new call. So fact 2. Okay, and 2, and inside this still base condition is not satisfied, so again return 2 into, return equal to not return equal to, okay, this equal to is not there, 2 into fact 1. Okay, so now fact 1, and you can see now we have reached at the base case n equal to 1. In this case we will return 1. So now next call is happening here, so now n is called, we are passing 1, so now fact 1. Okay, n equal to 1, and inside this now base condition become true, because n is equal to 1, the first condition is become true. At that case we are simply writing return 1. So now you can see in this step there is no recursive call again, only return 1. Now this is the base case we have reached. Now the process will return back. So from this point, this is returning 1. This 1 will pass to this place. Okay, so this part will be replaced by 1. Okay, now 1 into 2, 2. So that means this block of code will return 2 value, and that will be replaced here. So 2. So 3 into 2, 6. Okay, so 6 actually will be returned at this place. 6. Okay, so that will actually return by at this here. Now 6 into 4, 24. So 24 value will be returned to this place, this part. Okay, 24. And 5 into 24, 120. And that will be returned to the main call, first call. Okay, so from 4 to this. So total this function will return 120. And that will be assigned to result, and result will print here. So 120. So that will be the output. So in this way, this function is performing. So that means according to the rule, base. So our recursive calls should be performed in this way. So that should reach to the base case after some time. Okay, so after some number of calls. So otherwise, your function will call again and will not stop. So this base case should be there in the function, the recursive function, to stop the process. And recursive case is the part when call the function itself. So this is the one way of the writing a recursive code. So this is just a one way, okay, and that you should understand that how we can use this type of coding style to solve some problem, because many difficult problems can be solved by this type of style. Okay, recursive style. Okay, in a very small number of that steps, very small codes with the help of this recursive strategy. So this is the one type of that function, recursive function, and there are two types of category in this recursive function. So this, there is one direct recursive function. So this is the example we have discussed now. So when we are calling the function itself, so that is the example of recursive function. Another is indirect recursion. So that is also type. So what happened actually, if suppose we have two function, so like int a we have function, inside this body we have written some statement. and we have another function like int b, and inside this body we have written some statement. But what happening from a body we are calling the b function at one place, okay, b functions, and from b we are calling the a function inside the body. So in this code our jump is going this side, and from this code we are coming this side, okay, again from we will enter then be this side like, okay. So our recursive things is happening indirectly, one person to second, second to one, like, okay. So that is called as indirect recursion. So this is now a two types function and recursion. Now one important point is scope in C programming. So that is also one important part of the C programming is scope actually. Yeah. So scope means where from we can access the variable. Okay, where from we can access the variable function, all these things. So there are two types of scope: global scope and local scope. So what is meaning of global scope? So global scope means any variable which actually declared outside of any function at the beginning of the program. So that means in the code actually you can see this is the main function, but outside of this function we declare some variable global var. Okay, global var equal to 10. So this variable can be read from any part of the program. Okay, you can access this global variable inside the main function or any other function. You can access this value. So this is accessible from any part of the program. Globally, it is accessible. Because of that, this is global variable. Okay. So another is local variable. So local variable can be accessed only inside the block in which that is actually declared. So local scope you can see. So suppose in the main function we have calling this local function, and inside this local variable. Okay, inside this function we defined declare this int, actually int local variable 5. Now this variable cannot be accessed from this part main function. Okay, if you want to print this value local variable value, you cannot print here because this scope is only limited to this part, this block. You can access this variable only this part of code, this block. You cannot access outside of this block. Any other function you cannot access, out anywhere you cannot access, you can only access on inside this block. So this is actually a local variable. Block scope is also there. So inside the function as well as if you declare any variable inside the block only. So suppose in this conditional statement, this is just also a one block. Okay, so for this condition you have written this body open bracket close bracket. So this is a one block actually. Inside here you can define this int y equal to 10. That y can only access it inside this if statement only. Okay, you cannot access outside of this if because this is defined inside this block. So also take care of this. If you have declared inside the if, you cannot access outside of this if. If you want to access in the complete function, you have to declare outside of the block actually, any block. So here if int x equal to 5, so this is defined inside the main function. Okay, not inside this particular block. So this can be accessed in the each part. So this x can be accessed inside this if also, outside of this if also, but this y cannot be accessed outside of this if block. So this is called as a block scope. Okay, which is declared inside this curly brackets. So three type of scope is there. So that is local scope that can be accessed only on the function. Okay, global can be accessed on any part of the code, and block can be accessed only inside the curly brackets which is defined. Okay, so these are actually called as scope of the variables. Okay, so this is important. So this is the content of the week 5 which is discussed. So function. So now in the from week 5 you have to write only the function part. So most of the assignment questions will be based on where the function with this main function will be given to you, and you need to write only part like, okay, function definition. So you will see this type of question, write a function like this. Okay, so do not write a main function or reading something. You need to write only a definition of function. So block of the code. So this is all about the function thing. Any query in this? Okay, if you anyone have any query, you can ask.
Sir, just give a recap of full.
Full means
Full,
this.
full slide.
Okay, full Week-5. Okay. Okay, so the quick summary, like again, so the function is simply a block of code. Okay, we actually write a code inside the block and we assign a name for that block, and later we can execute that block many number of times with the help of the name of block. So that is actually a function. This is the some property like we can write one time, we can use many times, and code become easy to understand, readable and maintainability. Okay, so that is actually the benefits of the function. Two types of functions are there: predefined function and user defined function. Predefined function is already defined in some library, standard library or external library, and we can directly use it. Okay, user defined function that we can create according to our need. Okay, we can assign in function name, we can assign sequence of steps inside the body block of function, everything we can define. So that is actually user defined function. So according to the user defined function, that two things are there. This declaration part, we are just writing a structure of the function that is for the compiler. So what is the benefits of this? In this example you can see here we have actually declare. Okay, so here we have declared the function, but here we have defined the function. So declare means we just mention the structure of function, what will be the name, what will be the return type, what will be the input parameters. But later we have defined. So the benefits of this is we can define function at any point in our code. Okay, so we have defined at the first time. So compiler will understand that there is a function of add that actually will define later at any point. But you can do, you can skip this part declaration thing. You can directly define this add function, but that should be happen before the main function. Okay, so then your program will work fine. Otherwise nowadays that compilers are very that smart, so they can actually manage the things. If you still you not declare, that will actually understand what happened in the older actually compiler. If you not declare this function and you have directly defined later actually after the main function, so what happened, compiler will start execution of the main function first. At that time compiler doesn't know that add function is declared somewhere. Okay, because it is defined after the main function. So if you are calling that function add from the main function, so that compiler will just think that add is not defined anywhere, because compiler had not checked the compilation actually part. But now this our latest compiler is actually handle this situation, but this is the previous actually standard of the C. So always declare the program at the top before the main function, and then you can later define at any point. Okay, so this is the declaration and definition. So this after that two types of argument we can pass to the function as a parameter. So one is value we can pass, or address we can pass of any variable. So call by value, call by reference. This is the two type of parameters we can pass. Okay, call by value is simple. We can simply passing the like we can pass simple direct value like 5, 6, 10 like this, or we can pass a variable like num. So num is also contain 5, so 5 value we pass. And the way that each function have their local variables, so that parameter value we can write here like num, but the value of this num is actually passed to the function that variable name x, and that variable we are using inside the function. So function variable is called as a local variable. Okay, so the what variable we have defined for the function, so that is actually local variable for only the function, that cannot be accessed outside of the function. So call by reference, we can also pass the address of any variable, memory address of the variable, so that the data can be accessed directly from the memory. So that is comes under the call by reference, so that you will understand once you will learn the pointer concept in Week 6. A void thing is actually so you can see like any function we have declared here. So like previous function, if you think that you want to return something from your function to the code. Okay, so you can see here what we are doing, we are just getting a result equal to square root of 4. So you want to that this function should return a solution at this point here. Okay, so square 4 should return a 16 value at this expression, so that will become a result equal to 16. So 16 will assign to this result, and that will continue start execution. So that will print here. So your function should return. So that return value will replace this function call, and that will become a expression, and that will be continue perform. So that is if you feel that your function should return something to the code, so that you have to define the type of the return value. Okay, what type of value you want to return. But sometimes, suppose if you feel that no need to return anything from the function, only just perform the task and print something like this inside the function. So in that case, you can define a return type void. Okay, void means nothing, or it is the absence of the data. That means you are not returning anything, no data. Okay, so that is just like a none. Okay, so in this function you can see we are simply calling the function. We are not assigning the return value and something. So this is simply a call, and when we will call this, so this two statement will execute. Inside this statement we are printing something, so that will reflect some output effect of the function. Okay, so here we are not reading some return value from this function. So in that case, if you feel that no need to return anything from the function, so just type a return type void. Okay, so nothing. Okay, and no need to write a return statement then. So in this case, this two statement will execute only, and this will perform some task directly. And here your start how the execution will done. So after this statement, your call will come at this point. Then this statement will execute. After will complete. So this part is complete. Now this statement will execute. Like okay, in this way, this step will execute. So this is the void purpose. Call by reference, as I see it. Okay, recursion is a one type of function. So that if function is calling itself inside the body, so that is called recursion. And many complex problem can be solved with this type of recursive function. Very complex games, many sorting algorithms are there, so that can be written by the recursive approach, and that very small code is required for like this approach. So but this recursive type of code should have this base case and recursive case. And stack memory is actually that memory each system that is sorry function call, each function call create a one stack actually. Okay, stack memory, separate stack memory. Okay, so how many calls are there? So every time new actually part block of code will execute, so memory will be separated for that. That is actually called as a stack, actually stored inside the stack memory. But all some global variable or some another type of variable actually stored inside the another type of memory called as a heap memory. That will also discuss. Okay, so yeah, this is the things. Some example is there. Now type of recursion, direct recursion. If we are calling the same function inside from the inside body of the function. Okay, so here some direct is there, some direct, the same calling we are calling from here like this. So this is a direct recursion. Inside that indirect recursion is simply a two functions are there. You can see even and odd. From even we are calling odd function. Okay, this one. And from odd we are calling even function. Okay. Then again from even we will call odd. So this type of repeated things are there. Okay. So this is called as a indirect recursion. So this is the another type of recursion only. Then we have discussed the scope. So global variables can be accessed from any part of the code. Okay, any function, any part of the code. That should be defined outside of the function part. Okay, so that is the area where we can define. So that should not be defined outside of any function. Local scope are the variable which can be accessed of the function where that is actually defined. So if we have defined like that variable for this function, so that variable can be accessed only from inside this function, not outside of this function. So this is local for this function. Okay, block scope, if we define any variable inside this curly brackets, that can be accessed only inside this curly brackets. Okay, that cannot be outside of that variable. So here this is example. So inside this if conditional statement that curly brackets, this variable is declared. So that cannot be accessed outside of this if block. Okay, so this is a block level actually scope. Yeah, so this is the all summary. Okay, Any query? Anyone? Any question? Okay. So just prepare yourself for the quiz one exam. Also complete all the assignments of week 5. Okay, and also attempt the timed assignment. Do not skip this. This is must required for the lab part. So, and this is also helpful for the programming exam. Okay, so practice for the programming exam. So this week actually that will come through the week 4. So you can try this. That will also helpful for your that quiz syllabus actually. Okay, you will get more practice on that week 4. So try this on that Saturday. So I hope you will not. Maybe you will not get a chance for that, but after that you can also try. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This week.
Sir,
Okay.
actually, I have a query.
Yeah, Nick, Ankit.
Sir, today I receive a mail from IIT Madras. It's regarded to, sir, lab experiment something.
C programming, na?
Sir, C programming. Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Timed lab assignment like this. So
Yes, sir.
that
What
I hope
I
you joined late. I think in this session we have discussed all things in the initial of the session.
sorry, sir, I couldn't join before because I'm busy from some work.
No problem. What you can do, you can just watch the initial part of the session. Okay, that will be available on the YouTube. So we
Oh,
have
okay.
discussed all about the all that assignment. Okay, lab assignment.
Sir, one more thing. Sir, actually, I'm a qualifier student. So, sir,
Hmm.
qualifier exam, there is a negative marking system, isn't?
No negative marking is there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other query? Any doubt in this part? What we have discussed today? Okay. So no problem. You can just recap the things, and you can also ask in the later session this week. So Saturday session is basically week 5 programming practice programming assignment, and in between tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, these 3 sessions will be only for the revision part of the till week 4. Join all the session.
Sir, one
Maybe
thing
that.
more.
Huh?
Sir, is any mock test provided by IIT Madras to practice the qualifier exam?
Yeah, we have released already.
Sir, really, sir, but I couldn't see where is it.
On the course page itself, you can see this mock unit 2, mock quiz 1.
Sir, but in my dashboard, sir, I couldn't mention.
1 second. You are qualified student now. Let me open the
Yes,
qualified
sir.
page.
Yes, sir, I'm qualified.
Ankit, just
Uh,
refresh the page.
refresh your page. You can see the same similar unit is there. You can see September qualified 2004 mock unit QF mock. Okay. So this
Okay, sir.
question 20 questions are there. So after week 5, you can see this mock unit. Inside this, you can see this paper, mock paper. And we will discuss the solution of each question in detail on Friday session. And before that, you have to submit this. Okay, deadline is
Sir, of
26.
this mock.
Sorry, what you are asking?
Sir, the solution of mock will ask on Friday.
No, we will not release any solution file for this. So we have set the deadline on 26 Saturday night actually. After that, after in night, you will get a answer for each question. But we will discuss all the solution of each question in Friday session, Friday 9 to 11 p.m. Okay, we will discuss also solution for this
Okay, sir.
in the live session only. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
good evening, sir. Sir, for OPP only student time lamp assignment is not mandatory, no, sir?
You have already done, I think, in the previous term, time lab assignment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
So you have already no, not required.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any other thing?
Sir, is OPP for qualifier exam student?
No, OPP is not for qualifier exam, but if you want to continue this course after qualifying, okay, after qualifying, then if you want to continue the same course in the current term, then you have to attempt this. Or
Sir,
if you want to after qualify, if you want to enroll the same course in the next term, then no need to attempt any assignment after Week 4.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, when I registered for same term, then I
Uh-huh.
took
So what
OPP.
happens? So after giving the exam on this 27th October, you will get a result, and after that you will get a form to enroll the course. Okay, so if you want to enroll this C programming course in the same current September term, then
Oh,
if you have decided this, then just continue all the assignments this week. So all timed assignment OPP exam will also be done for you in this term. But if you want to register or enroll in the next term, January term after qualifying, so in that case, do not continue. You can learn, but no need to continue actually. Okay, content will be available to you also, but no need to submit the assignment. All these things you have to repeat when you will enroll actually. Okay.
okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay. Any other query?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then fine. So we are closing the session. Thanks everyone. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.